Hi everybody, it's Crystal. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make this shawl here. So this is what it looks like. As you can see, the top has a bit of a angle, so it's not going to be a straight across shawl, which is, I like those quite a bit because they hold over your shoulders a lot better versus a straight across. I mean, I like both, but I always like them when they have a little bit of a nice angle at the top. It's not like too drastic, but it is a little bit. So when you look closer, you can see that it's made with puff stitches here. And it's very easy. It's just a 2-row repeat. Now mine is not finished as at the making of the video, which is 5/11/2023. I thought I would go ahead and show you how to start it, because it's just, like I said, a 2-row repeat, and then we can finish it together. And whenever mine is finished, I will put the finished thumbnail picture up. But yeah, we can work on it together because I'm going to be working on it until mine's finished. So why don't we go ahead and talk about the yarn that I used and the yarns that you can use instead. It is so pretty. I really like it. And it's so easy. I just been sitting and watching a movie while I've been doing it. So here's the yarn I'm using for mine. Let me pull this up here so you can see it a little bit better. Sorry about that. And like I said, I'm just going to show you the initial 2 rows, and then we can work on it together. I'll continue to work on mine, and whenever you see the thumbnail change to the finished shawl, you'll know that mine is finished. But this is the colors that I'm using, and now this yarn right here is Yarn Art Flowers Alpaca. It is 20 alpaca, 80 acrylic, and there are 940 meters or 1,028 yards. It's very beautiful. Now they classify this as a 2. I always say it's like in between a 2 and a 3 weight yarn. And this is going to be, I'm going to use this entire cake, and it's going to be a very big shawl. So you can use any yarn that you want. You can use a 1 weight, a 2 weight, a 3 weight, a 4 weight. Just remember that the thicker the yarn you use, the less drape it'll probably have. I would probably recommend using in between a 1 and a 3 weight yarn, something like that. But I'm like I said, this yarn is actually in between a 2 and a 3, if you see it there. I like the idea of us finishing it together. So I'm going to set this to the side, and remember, any weight that you choose will be fine. And I'm going to use this entire cake of 1,028 yards. It'll be a very big shawl. You don't have to use that much, but if you're using a 1 weight, it probably will take a 1 or a 2 weight. It probably will take around 1,000 yards. If you're using a 3 weight, you could probably get away with about 800, but in actuality, you can make the shawl as big as you want. You do not have to use the yarn that I'm using. And then I'm going to be using a size for this particular weight of yarn, which is in between a 2 and a 3. I'm using an I, which is a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. Bigger hook like that will give it a better drape. So whatever yarn you're using, I always suggest using when you're doing a shawl or you want something with a lot of drape, using either a full hook size or a hook size and a half bigger than what the yarn recommends, and that way it will give a nice drape on your shawl. Alright, so why don't we go ahead and get started. Once you get it past the first initial couple rows, like I said, it's just a 2-row repeat, and it's very easy to do, and it's a lot of fun actually. It's something you can do sitting in front of the TV. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for this particular tutorial, I'm going to be using a different yarn to show you how to do it, a thicker yarn. I'm going to be using a 4 weight. It's just some scrap yarn that I have, but it is a 4 weight acrylic. So you want to start off with a slip knot on your hook. Now this shawl is worked from the top down. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and start out with a chain of 7. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I do not recommend using the magic ring on this particular shawl. So we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring. So I throw my tail over, And I always put my middle finger in between the hook and the chain, and then I slip stitch. That way I can keep it open there, just like that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start off by chaining 1, which does not count as a stitch. And we're going to work 3 double crochets back through the center of the ring. So there's 1, 2, and there is 3. So we got 3 doubles there. Now we are going to work a chain of 2, 1, 2, and we're going to go back through the center of the ring, and we're going to work 5 double crochets in a row. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5. You can slide them over as you go. Then we're going to chain 2 again, and now we're going to work 5 double crochets back through the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 5. And then we're going to chain 2, and work 3 double crochets back in the center. 1, 2, and there is 3. Now you can pull your center tail or your tail to close that up just a bit. But now this is what we will have here. You have 3 doubles here, chain 2, 5 doubles, chain 2, 5 doubles, chain 2, and then 3 doubles. This chain 2 right down here is going to act as the point of our shawl. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start row 2. Now we start every row the exact same, so it kind of forms its own little edging. You see that? So you don't have to put no edging on it. And it, like I said, it's always started the same. We're going to start with a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to turn our work like that. Now we're going to jump right here into this first chain 2 space, and we're going to work 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to go back into that same spot and work 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and there's 3, like that. Now we're going to work a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to skip these 5 double crochets here, and we're going to work right here, which is the point of our shawl. And the point of the shawl is always the same as well. It's 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So we have to make this side match this side. So we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to skip these 5 doubles into this last chain 2 space. We always end the same as well. 3 double crochets into that space. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets. So there's 1, 2, and 3. And now that will end row 2. We do not do anything, no stitches up here. We just start row 3 the same way we start every row now. We just chain 3. This is what creates our edging and turn our work. And again, we jump to this first chain 2 space and we work 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles. So that's always the same every row. It's 3 doubles, chain 2, and then 3 more doubles. Just like that. All right, so now we're going to be working into that chain 5 space, and this is where we're going to work our puff stitches. So we're going to work a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then in this chain 5 space, we need to work 5 puffs with chains in between them. So I'll go ahead and show you how we're going to do that. So we're going to yarn over, go right through the space, and draw up a loop, and you want to do that 4 times. So that's 1, again yarn over, draw up a loop, that's 2, again yarn over, draw up a loop, that's 3, one more time, yarn over, draw up a loop, that's 4 times. So you'll look and you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 loops on your hook. You want to yarn over and go through 8 of them, like that, and you'll have 2 left on your hook. Yarn over and go through those remaining 2, like that, and then we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to do, you can slide that down a little bit, and then we're going to do another puff until we have a total of 5. So again, we're going to yarn over, go through the same chain space, draw up a loop. We want to do that 4 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 9 loops. Yarn over and go through all 8 of them, or 8 of them, and then you'll have 2 remain. Yarn over and go through the remaining 2 and chain 1. So now you have 2 puffs there. And remember, we need a total of 5 puffs in this chain 5 space. There's 3. There's 4. I'm going to do it one more time. There's 5. So I just did the chain 1 to lock it. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we are at the point of our shawl, and remember, it's always the same at the point. 3 doubles. There's 1, 2, 3, a chain of 2, and 3 more doubles. 1, 2, 3, just like that. Now again, we need to make this side match this side, so we're going to do the exact same thing on this side that we just did on over here. So we will chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and in this chain 5 space we're going to work our 5 puffs with chain 1 in between them. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One more. That, so I got my 5 puffs there. Now I'm going to chain 3, and I'm at the end here. This is my last chain 2 space. We don't do anything with this space here. All right, it's where the chain 3 is. It's nothing. It's only where these line up here. So in this last chain 2 space, we work 3 doubles, and then a chain of 2 and 3 more doubles. Like that, and that's the end. Remember, we don't do anything up here. That chain 3, it just acts as kind of a border for it. We don't do anything there. So that ends row 3. So rows 4 and 5 are actually the repeat rows. It'll start to just get bigger after you start repeating rows 4 and 5. So again, we always start the same. We chain 3, turn our work, go back into this chain 2 space, and we work our 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3, and then we chain 2, and we work 3 more doubles. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to start off with a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now this is the chain 5 space that we'll work our puffs in on the next row. And then we're going to jump right over here to these puff stitches. And in the first chain 1 space, in between the first 2 puffs, we're going to do a double crochet. So we got this chain 5 on our hook. We're going to yarn over, go into that space, and double crochet. Just like that. Then we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. And then we are going to double crochet in the chain space in between the next 2 puffs. Just right through the space. And then we're going to chain 2. 1, 2. And we're going to double crochet in the chain space between the next 2 puffs. And then we're going to chain 2. And we're going to double crochet in between the chain space of the next 2 puffs. That, so if you look, you'll have 3 little chain 2 spaces here now. Now we are coming up to the point of our shawl, so we need to do a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then at the point of the shawl, we do the same thing that we always do. 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles. Now we need to make both sides match. So again, we start off with a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the chain 5 spaces is where the puffs always go. and then we jump over here to in between the first 2 puffs, and we work a double crochet, and then we chain 2, and then we double crochet in between the next 2 puffs, that chain space, and chain 2, double crochet in between the next 2 puffs, chain 2, and then we double crochet between the last 2 puffs. And if you look again, you'll have 3 chain 2 spaces, and we're going to chain 5, and we are at the end here. So in this last chain 2 space, we do what we always do, which is 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3. And that will end row 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, we don't do anything with these chain 3 spaces. That just kind of makes a nice little border there. Okay? And now we're going to do the puff stitch row again. So we're going to start like we always do. We're going to chain 3 and turn our work. And we're going to do the same thing right here in this chain 2 space and work 3 doubles. There's 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, and 3 more doubles. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then we're going to work a chain of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we need to work our puff stitches, our 5 puffs with chain 1 in between them, right here into this chain 5 space. So just like we did down here, we're going to do it right here, the exact same way. And then you chain 1 and do your next one. So I'm going to go ahead and do my 5 puffs into this chain 5 space. Alright, so I got my 5 puffs made, and now what I'm going to do is work a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to single crochet in the center spot of these group of 3 where we put the 3 chain 2 spaces. The center one, I'm going to single crochet like that. And then I'm going to chain 3 again, 1, 2, 3, and now I'm at my chain 5 space, so I'm going to work my 5 puffs again. 1, just like we did before, the same way. You do your puffs, and then you chain 1 in between them. So I'm going to go ahead and do my 5 puffs in this chain 5 space. Alright, I got my 5 puffs, and right here is the center of my shawl where we always do the same thing, but we want to make sure we chain 3 after those puffs. And in the chain 2 space, we're going to work our 3 doubles, chain 2, and 3 doubles. It's always the same in the center or the point of the shawl. 3 doubles, chain 2, and then 3 doubles. 1, 2, and 3. Now remember, we need to make this side look just like this side, so we just do the same thing. We're going to chain 3, and in this chain 5 space we're going to work our 5 puffs with the chain 1 in between them. There's 1, so I'm going to go ahead and do my 5 in this chain 5 spot here. Alright, so I got my 5 puffs, so now we need to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we are here where we have our 3 sets here of where we chain 2 in the middle one, we single crochet, just like we did on the other side. Then we chain 3, and we're at our, we skip this, we're at our chain 5 space here, and we do our 5 puffs in this chain 5 space. Oops, it's too many. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do my chain 5 or my 5 puffs with a chain 1 in between them, and I'll meet back up with you when I finish those out. All right, I got my 5 puffs done, so we're at the end here, so I'm going to chain 3, and in this last chain 2 space, remember we don't do anything with this chain 3 here at the end. This is our last spot. We do what we always do, which is 3 doubles, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more doubles. 1, 2, and 3, and that is it. You just keep repeating rows 4 and 5 until you get it as big as you want it to be. So for the next row, I would just chain 3, and I'm going to repeat row 4, which is where we make the chain space rows for where we make the chain space rows. So I'll go ahead and show you real quick. So we do what we always do in the beginning. We chain 3, and then we go into the first chain 2 space, and we work 3 doubles, chain 2, 3 doubles. We're going to be adding a chain 5 row on each side this time. And then we are going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And right here in this set of puffs, we're going to double crochet in between the first 2, like that. So this is where we'll put our puff stitches on the next round. Chain 2, double crochet in between the next puffs, chain 2, double crochet in between the next puffs, chain 2, double crochet in between the last 2 puffs, and again you can see that you will have 3 spots here with chain 2s in between them. And then right here where we put the single crochet, this is where we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So another puff stitches will go into this spot on the next round, and we jump over here to these puff stitches. So we don't do anything here, we just chain 5, skip all this, and in between the first 2 puffs we double crochet and chain 2, and in between the next 2 double crochet and chain 2, in between the next 2 double crochet and chain 2, and in between the last 2 double crochet, like that. And then we're coming to the point, which is right here, so we need to chain 5 at the end, like that. And the point always gets the same. 3 doubles, oops, chain 2, and 3 doubles. And then you just need to make the other side look like this side. So if you look closely now, you can see now you have 3 chain 5 spaces, which is always where the puff stitches go. So every time you do a puff stitch row on each side, you're going to have another set of puffs. So you see we have 1 here, and then we have 2, and then the next one at the chain 5 spaces we'll have 3, and it'll just keep growing and growing and growing, just like that. So it's just a repeat of those 2 rows, and you get it to your desired length. Now this, like I said, this is with the 4-weight yarn. You can see it's quite heavy, and it doesn't have a lot of drape. It would work well for a fall shawl. I do recommend using a lighter weight yarn for this particular pattern, especially if it's just going to be more drapey. But after a while, it starts to look like this, which is quite beautiful. You can see how every row on each side you'll gain a set of puffs. So it's very easy. Just remember, the chain 5 spaces is where your puff stitches go on the next row. There's always 1 at the end, or 1 at the beginning, chain 5, and there's always 1 at the end, and then in between where you over the single crochet. See that? Just remember to repeat those rows and you'll do fine. Now I would end on a row of puff stitches if I were you, and then if you want to put some type of fringe on it or border on it, that is completely up to you. But as for bordering the top, it makes its own, and remember it will have a slight V at the top, not like super humongous like that, but it does have a slight one. As you can see, it's not going to be flat across, which is good, I think, because like I said, it holds over your shoulders better. But I hope you were able to follow along, and we're going to do this together. I'm going to continue working on mine, and whenever mine is finished, I will change out the thumbnail so you can see what mine looks like finished with using this yarn. So I would love to see what yours looks like finished. So don't forget to post a picture on my Bagoday Crochet Facebook page, or you can post it to my Instagram. There's links to both of those in the description box. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my tutorials or my yarn content. And thank you everybody for watching. I'll see you on my next video. Bye guys.